5 things every man and woman should think about before sex or regret. Later, number 1. Think about your own desires and your partner's. Freud once said, "A woman will never desire sex with a man who does not understand her." This highlights the importance of feeling understood in a sexual relationship. Unfortunately, many believe that sex is merely a trick of nature for reproduction. Philosophers like Schopenhauer held such views. However, from Freud's psychoanalytic perspective, sex is deeply tied to emotions and psychological complexes. If these emotions are not properly expressed, they may resurface later as serious issues. As Freud put it, repressed emotions never die. They are buried alive and will come back later in uglier ways. So the first and most crucial step is to understand what you and your partner want from the relationship. This self-awareness and mutual understanding helps sustain love over time. Number 2, talk before sex. Freud also said, only the complete absence of sexual activity can be considered a perversion. Everything else is just a matter of taste. This means that discussing preferences and behaviors before engaging in sex is essential. Understanding each other's desires increases pleasure, strengthens emotional bonds, and helps clear negative thoughts. Freud also warned, avoid women who talk excessively about sex. They often suffer from psychological damage due to a lack of it. So don't feel shy. Communication about sex is necessary to build stronger intimacy and connection. Number 3, don't think about your problems before sex. Freud emphasized the psychological impact of sex, believing that it reflects a person's personality and childhood experiences. Why shouldn't you think about your problems before sex? Because during intercourse, the brain releases dopamine, making you feel good and temporarily forget your worries. This can create an unconscious addiction, where you turn to sex instead of facing life's challenges. Freud saw this type of dependency as unhealthy. As Carl Jung, another great psychoanalyst, stated, all forms of addiction are harmful, whether it be drugs or the pursuit of perfection in relationships. Number 4, think about your spiritual side. While Freud focused primarily on the physical aspect of sex, Carl Jung believed that it also had a spiritual dimension. Unlike Freud, Jung argued that sex is a deep interaction between body and soul. If it is approached casually without meaning, it can become just another habit, one that weakens and enslaves you over time. Jung emphasized the need to attach a higher meaning to sexual experiences, making them more enriching and fulfilling. Number 5, don't let lust control you. No matter what culture you come from, history has consistently warned against unchecked lust. From philosophy and poetry to myths and legends, excessive indulgence in desire has always been seen as destructive. If you let lust control you, it turns you into its obedient servant, something no one truly wants. This addiction can make you lose control of your life. Before sex, remind yourself, I am in control of my own will, not a slave to my desires. The moment human willpower disappears, instincts take over, leading to impulsive and irrational behavior. This final step is crucial. Don't let it break you. Sex is just one of many tools available to humans for self-discovery and inner peace. Let's learn to use these tools wisely. The first person who threw an insult instead of a stone was the founder of civilization. The mind is like an iceberg. Only 1/7 of it is visible above water. A truly energetic and successful person is one who turns fantasies into reality. One should not seek to eliminate their psychological complexes, but rather learn to harmonize with them and navigate the world accordingly. When people marry, they no longer live solely for each other. They live with a third entity, the home, and soon after, the children. These become dangerous rivals to the husband. The only pure, eternal love without hatred exists between drug addicts. Just as no one can be forced to have faith, no one can be forced into disbelief. From your vulnerabilities, strength will emerge.